Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
Welcome back. My name is Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back and welcome back again. Here we go.
She's saying that because we just did about 10 minutes of the program and realized we weren't really recording. So, April Fools, because this is our April Fools edition of the program.
Yeah.
I think that 10 minutes of content was really, really good.
It was.
And we for sure can never use it on the program.
Yeah, it'll never be heard. Well, that's good because you told a scandalous story.
And it was true. It was a scandalous story that was totally true. It may have involved Jesus and liquor. It may have, but we're not going to retell it.
Oh, my gosh.
Easter Sunday was yesterday.
Yeah, the Easter recap.
Yeah, that's the story we were telling.
So I haven't really stepped foot in a church in probably 5 years. I mean, I've had gone to funerals or whatever, but it's a big, long story we don't need to get into here, but if you're listening and you have a podcast where you talk about religious trauma, give me a ring. I'd be a great guest.
Right.
Anyway, but we, being back in Tri-Cities, there's a church that you often play your trombone at with the brass group that they have. And so we've been attending and we're singing in the choir. And
it's awesome.
And I, while I'm still in the same place with my faith or lack thereof, I do like the people that are there.
Yes.
It's a lot of older people, and you know, my parents have been gone a long time, and so for me, I get a lot of like warm parental kind of feelings from them, and I love that. And I like to sing, and so even though, you know, I struggle still with the messaging, I do love to sing and I love music. And so I think for me, it's a nice place to be in right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Session with Londa and David is a business-focused podcast that
sharp left turn
is where we really like to discuss the three things that are most interesting to us, and they're real estate, restaurants, and retail.
Yeah.
Because the two of us have exclusively worked, well, almost exclusively, Excited Broadcast as well, but then when I sold commercials, it was retail. Anyway, we've worked almost exclusively in restaurants, real estate, and retail. So those are the three things we talk about most on this program. But Easter Sunday just happened, so we had a lovely time.
I didn't mean to jump right in there and start doing like an Easter recap before you got to get your headliner out.
You're perfectly fine. We talked about it, though, because, yes, Easter Sunday did just happen.
Yes,
and it was such a fun time.
I want to hear your Easter recap. You had a great time.
I had a great time. We did the service on Good Friday, where I sang a solo, and I enjoyed doing that. It went way smoother than it should have. And then Easter Sunday, the brass were spectacular, I thought.
They did a really good job.
I was pretty okay, but those guys were great. So what a fun time. And thank you to our choir director and brass ensemble leader, Bob, for pulling it all together. What a fun time it was.
Yeah.
And I know Bob listens to this program, so thank you for all of your direction and your hard work, Bob.
Yeah, and they're very kind people, and I really like, you know, I have like warm feelings.
Well,
when I'm there.
And to me, they're family. So
That's sweet.
I did get to see my family Friday night and Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we went to one of the kids' houses, James and Sierra's house.
So this was fun, you guys. So I had a whole life before this where I was very Susie homemaker.
Right.
Raising my 7 children. I homeschooled them. I always had a side hustle. So I've been in sales and marketing like my whole life.
Right.
But my primary job was being this stay-at-home homeschool mom. And you know, some of the stereotypes that our listeners are thinking of right now, true. Some not true.
I gotcha.
So people would often meet my kids, and they would say things like, "You you're a homeschooler? You don't look like a homeschooler. You're a homeschooler? You don't act like a homeschooler. And my kids took that as a compliment.
Sure.
And they should have, because they were not weirdos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So pretty well socially adjusted. So anyway, but I was very Susie homemaker. So Saturday about 4:30 in the afternoon, we get a text from one of the kids. Hey, plans changed. We can host. So we're doing an overnight slow cooker pulled pork.
Right.
And I said, great, I'll do coleslaw. And then I thought, I'll do homemade rolls as well, because that goes great with, and I was envisioning like I'll make them big enough so you could do sandwiches on them if you wanted to, right? So I agreed to do that, forgetting, one, I haven't made homemade rolls in years.
Right.
And two, we had dinner reservations at 6:15.
Yes.
With friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just gotten out of the shower.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of work to do to get ready to go.
Sure.
But then now I've got to make homemade rolls and coleslaw. The coleslaw was pretty easy. You helped me out a lot by going to the store and getting the pre-shredded cabbage stuff.
Yes.
And so I just had to make dressing and mix it. But the yeast rolls, I was like, oh shit, do I even remember how to do these? They were great. They came out perfect.
Awesome. They were really,
proud.
really good. And I don't typically eat stuff like that, but I loved it.
And you don't typically see me in the kitchen for hours with an apron, but you seemed
sure
to
did
enjoy
love
it.
I did.
Yeah.
Seeing you in an apron is magic. It's like when we were not dating and I would take you to eat, but I'd already had lunch. So I'd just sit there and watch you eat. It was similar.
Yeah, you weirdo.
Oh, well, there you go.
Everybody, you like what you like, right?
That's right.
There's nothing you can do about it.
That's exactly right.
So yeah, we had a great time with James and Sierra and their little daughter Hayden and little daughter X. We don't have a name, I don't
Still
think.
in the belly.
And then
Davina.
Our very youngest daughter, Ada, and her partner, Julian, came over and joined us, and that was awesome. And she brought this mac and cheese that was killer
Smoked
to die for.
Gouda.
Oh, my God.
There were like 4 different types of cheese. It was stupid.
Ridiculous. That is one thing. Let me tell you, all my kids can cook.
Right.
Because they all grew up cooking from scratch with me in the kitchen, you know,
Right.
or with their dad. Their dad cooked too. And so, yeah, so they can all put out some really, really delicious food.
Right.
And in fact, we FaceTimed Andrea, our daughter who doesn't live here because she doesn't love us. And she last week, I think it was Friday, and she was prepping she had made carrot cake cupcakes and was finishing them up while we were FaceTiming. And
they did look good.
I talked to her briefly today and she said they were a hit. She made 12 big regular size cupcakes and then she made a whole mess of mini cupcakes
Right.
because they were going somewhere where there were a lot of kids. Anyway, she said it was a big hit. She forgot to get pictures of Diana. So she put little bunny ears on her when she was having her dinner last night.
Oh, perfect.
And took a picture so they could commemorate her first Easter. They forgot to take
There you
pictures
go.
during the day. Anyway, all that to say, what a lovely time. And
Beautiful.
then we capped the evening by having our very youngest child and their partner as well.
Right. The youngest of the 9.
David and Faith came over, and that was really wonderful. And Faith is an artist, and if you're interested in art, you can, or artists, or supporting artists, independent artists, you can follow her Instagram shop. It is...
I don't know. It's really impressive is what it is.
I think it's called Charlotte's Clay Shop.
Charlotte's Clay Shop. Okay. She does really cool art that's food based.
Yeah, it's
and she has a contract right now with Stouffer's.
Yeah.
And she's done
Lasagna Compact.
Yep, Lasagna Compact. And is that one's not clay. That one was
Resin. I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it
Listen,
works
we're
either. It's
starting to
beautiful.
sound dumb. She's very talented.
Wonderful artist hired by international organizations to help them sell their product.
Yeah, she's got celebrity clientele.
Yeah.
She's got now, lots of corporate clientele. But she's just, an independent artist doing her thing and loving every day. And anyway, yeah.
She makes really cool stuff. Also, over the weekend, I went to see a movie. I went to see the new Ghostbusters film, which made me cry because there was a part of the movie that talked about being a step parent.
Oh, yeah.
And that made me feel very warmly toward our children. I enjoyed that. Also, I had conversations with Benjamin and Caitlin Austin, who were happily with their mother in New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico.
And that was great.
Weekend.
They went and played Top Golf and went to the Ghostbusters movie Sunday afternoon.
Oh, really?
And had a lovely
fun.
time.
Good.
So everybody had a good time, and that is the Easter recap.
Yep, it is. I mean, we have other kids that did other things and everything, and so we just didn't get to be a part of some of it. We've got some kids that are out of town for spring break.
We've got kids who are married and they did their in-law stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people to communicate with.
Yeah.
It's like a big fat gang of people.
Like I said to you yesterday, I'm just happy somebody wants to hang out.
That's right.
That's right. So I did get admonished by one of the children who said, that text you sent on Thursday asking what everybody was doing, it just sounds like you just want to tag along to what we already have plans and you just want to tag along. And I'm like,
that's exactly what we want to do. Because what we don't want to do is host. We're in our little condo down by the river, and there's no facility for hosting something.
I want to host. I love to. It's just we can't.
Right. That's right.
Can't have a group in the yard. It's a shared yard. It's not allowed.
Right.
And the condo is too small to have people.
The only thing that's allowed in the yard are animals that smash into the condo and then come into our patio.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah. So let's tell that story.
Well, Monday, April 1st is when we released this particular podcast. And this morning, Monday, April 1st, we were sitting on our patio after our morning walk, having our Monday morning sales meeting, drinking coffee and loving the environment, talking about what we're going to do today and planning our week.
And the patio is it's one open side, right? Three of the sides are walled in. And
that's exactly right.
Open it to the front.
And at the condos, we are on the bottom floor, so we can walk right out onto the marina. Yeah. So anyway, we're there having our morning coffee, having a lovely time, and all of a sudden we got a visitor. And that visitor was a pigeon who smashed into the brick wall right above our patio and then fell onto our patio breakfast table.
And then kind of flew up into the corner.
Oh, awful Fangora. Feathers everywhere.
Yeah.
No blood that I saw, though. But when the bird hit our table, it did something unholy on the table.
Yeah.
It was awful. I don't know.
It was scary.
All of its insides came out on the outside.
It was scary and it was weird. And the poor little thing was stunned and was in the corner. We went inside, but of course watched from the window. And I kept checking. And she was stunned and would take a couple of steps and then just stand there for a long time. If
we were pioneers, we'd have wrung her little neck and had something to cook for
thank
tonight.
Goodness we're not.
Thank goodness indeed.
A couple more steps, and then she'd just stand there for a really long time. And eventually, it took about an hour.
Right.
She kind of made her way off the patio, which is one little drop, and then around the corner. And I thought, well, good, she's not my problem now. I know that's terrible, but I don't want to rescue a wild animal.
Right.
B, I don't want to clean one up if it dies.
No, thank you.
I've done that.
That's not for me.
I've done it. It's not good. Yeah, and I don't really know what happened. I watched the whole thing. From my angle, you could see the whole thing. I saw the two pigeons, I think a male and a female, flying, and I think what they were gonna do was fly into our patio area, and then last second saw human movement, and it startled the one in the front, which was the female, and she just chest first smack into the brick
right above,
and the
our
other
patio.
One flew away, and it was god awful.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I apologize. I also laugh at funerals. Let's move on. I don't mean to, but it's like the intensity of it gets to me so bad that I just start laughing.
Right.
I am not the person to take to a funeral, or maybe I am.
Well, here's the
I'll
thing.
lighten the
when you go to a
mood.
Cajun funeral, which you had the opportunity to do, the men often go off into like a kitchen area and tell stories and jokes and totally remove themselves
When
from
did I
the
go to a
emotion.
Cajun funeral?
We went to a Cajun funeral with the Gilbo family in Lafayette, Louisiana last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. The men, though, often go into another room and tell jokes and eat boudin and eat cracklins and try to lighten up the
Drink liquor.
situation. Maybe there was liquor. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know.
There was for sure food, though.
And do you know where I always end up?
In with the guys.
In with the fellas. That's right.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, David, I have a
Yes.
concern.
Okay.
I fear we will never again be able to do the restaurant review no one asked to hear,
Tell me why that is.
because I am sick to death of restaurants.
Okay.
I'm sick of them.
Is it time for the restaurant review nobody asked for?
Well, we don't have a schedule. We can talk about whatever we want to.
Awesome. I would like to talk about our meal Saturday night
Oh, okay.
at Bud's Broiler.
Oh my God.
Okay. Before we get into it, thank you very much to the couple that went to dinner with us and then picked up the check.
That's a big
That
deal.
was lovely.
Yes.
Absolutely lovely.
It was,
So
and I don't
thank you
mean
so much.
to shit on the experience, but I'm about to.
Well,
so stay tuned.
Okay. So let me set the scene for you, okay? Everybody sit back and imagine we're having a wonderful time at Bud's Broiler.
Well, we were very excited because they met us. First of all, my rolls came out of the oven just before we left.
Right.
And I actually risked it. I shut the oven off, cracked the door, and then left. And I thought they'll finish cooking, and they
Okay.
did, and it was perfect. Okay.
So this couple met us at our condo,
Yeah.
which is
and we walked
just down the block.
Yeah, we walked to Bud's, which
Yes.
is lovely.
3.5 minute walk, beautiful. The weather was gorgeous. It was
Yeah.
just a lovely experience.
Right.
We get there and we come in and our table's ready because we had a reservation and
Right.
they're really good on the front end. They're really good with the experience part of the meal. Then we sit down and our waiter, I don't remember if his name was Jason. Jonathan. That's right. It was a J name. Jonathan came right over, very friendly, took our drink orders, ran off to the bar.
Yeah, it was great.
Lovely. He was great at what he does at that point
Yeah,
in the
so
night.
if you go to Bud's Broiler, you may want to ask for Jonathan.
He,
Because he did a great job.
class act.
Yeah.
Class
I've got
act.
no complaint about him at all. I've got complaints about other things.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this. The thing I liked most about that service was that my steak was overcooked.
Right.
And normally when you cut into a piece of meat and it's not there, often waiters aren't there to see, by the way. Often they're not good at the follow through and don't wait until you cut into your steak and ask
Right.
you if it's the right temperature.
Right.
He stood there and waited, which was perfect because mine was medium well. And I like medium rare, and it can be rare. You can't undercook a steak for me.
Right.
So when it was medium well, I said, hey, you know what? This is overdone. I wanted medium rare. And he's like, oh, no problem at all. I'm terribly sorry. You know what? Let me give you all of your sides and just take your steak on a different plate. So I can go have them fire another steak. And he did, and the steak turned out to be really, really good the second time. He didn't throw anybody under the bus, and to me, that made that service exemplary, because when a waiter says to me, I told those sons of bitches medium rare, and they often do. They throw the kitchen under the bus. I've had problems.
Let's
16
pause
times.
right there. Let's pause right there.
All right.
Because this is an important lesson if you are part of a team. And here's what I mean by part of a team.
Right.
If you are in sales and you have, like I am, I'm a realtor, I have a lender, I have title, I have whoever.
Yes.
I am a part of a whole team that does something.
Yes.
If you're in sales, you probably are a part of a team. But also, if you have a family, you are part of a team.
Yes.
If you work in an office for an hourly salary, you are part of a team.
For sure.
This is good information for the team. You never, ever, ever throw a team member under the bus, even if you know for damn sure it was so-and-so's fault,
You don't ever say it.
it doesn't matter whose fault it was. You apologize and ask how you can remedy it if you don't already know.
And in the lending
How
world,
do we make this better for you?
right. That's right. In the lending world, most bad lenders go, those stupid underwriters.
Right. They blame the underwriter. They blame the realtor. They blame somebody. Everybody blames the realtor, by the way. Everybody blames the realtor. That's just how it goes.
And you should never throw anybody under the bus
Right.
because the old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Right.
You got to be the rising tide.
If you get a low appraisal, you don't throw the appraiser under the bus.
No.
I mean, it's that whole thing, right? So he did the right thing in that, but it's a really good lesson, to be learned for life.
Sure.
I had a friend one time who said to me, I love spending time with you because you never play the stupid husband, stupid kids game.
Okay. Tell me
I
what
said,
that game is.
What do you mean? She goes, I spend time with other women and they just can't wait to tell me these stories about how stupid their husband is or how stupid their kids are.
Oh, I hate that.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not me. That's my team.
Right. That's right. You're a part of the team.
Now I did go to a different team at some point as far as that goes.
Sure.
But you're still my team. And
if
even
if the team doesn't allow you to provide the level of service that you require for your customers, you need to change the team.
there you go.
And the customers in that case are the world.
Right.
And the world was not being served well with that team.
Yeah. So anyway, so now we'll go back to this story. Our friend that was there is eating keto.
Right.
And so he wanted the steak and double veggies.
Right. Because the
Okay.
meal. Oh, wait. No, we're skipping ahead. The best part.
No,
yes,
I'm
we are.
not.
We're skipping ahead because the best part was when he said, "You know what I'd like to do? I'm going to get the little steak because I want to get 5 raw oysters." And they're like, "Would you like the Columbia oysters, or would you?"
Or this oyster,
and
or
he's
that
like,
oyster.
and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? The Columbia is an Anthony's product. I'll do that. That'll be cool. So I'll only get the 7-ounce sirloin because I'll do the oysters with the meal." And it came out before the meal, but that's neither here nor there. And
well, no, it is part of it because he said more than once, but I want it with the meal.
Right.
And the server clarified. So you want the oysters. Typically we bring them as an appetizer, but you want them with your meal.
Right.
Yes, I want them with my meal.
Right.
Got it. Well, then somebody else from the kitchen brought the
ran the
oysters
food out as soon as they were ready.
Set it down, and
They
our friend said, "Is this butter?" And the guy goes, "I don't know," and just walked away.
Right.
Not our server, Jonathan, but some other guy. I don't know. Just walked away. And I thought, oh, he's probably run into the kitchen to get butter.
Right.
Nope. Never saw him again.
And never saw butter.
But there were 5 oysters.
There were 5 oysters. And I don't know if
Ish.
you've seen oysters on the half shell. Usually they're about as big as putting your thumb and your first finger together with both hands and doing it like that. Not these. These looked like clams. They were little. They were little guys.
The actual meat was like the size of a dime.
Right. It was
It was hilarious.
dime ass is what it was.
It was hilarious.
Some dime ass oysters, and he got 5 of them. He would need to have had 30 of them for that to make any impact on his appetite.
I mean, hilarious.
But he was a good sport about it.
Yeah.
He didn't complain. He didn't say anything to Jonathan. He just, I would have ordered the bigger steak if I knew this was so small.
But at least he got double veggies.
Yeah. So out comes our meal.
And the guy who brought the oysters brought out the first 2 plates.
And that
chucked
guy
them on the table.
And took off running. And I think flipped us off as he was running back to the kitchen.
I don't know what his name was. I wish I knew.
Anyway, so he puts the steak in front of our buddy, and he looks at me, and Londa and I both say at the same time, they must have forgotten your double vegetables, because there were...
And he counted. Oh, yeah, they must have, because there's 8 asparagus spears.
And when I say thin, wimpy asparagus
they were
spears.
okay. They were okay. They were.
weren't
I've seen lots
thick
worse.
like the ones that grow in Pasco.
It's not in
though.
season, which, by the way, I take issue with them calling them seasonal vegetables,
Yeah, 'cause
and they're
they're not
not
in
in
season.
season.
So here's the deal. Then our plates come out. There are only 4 asparagus on our plates because we got the single serving.
They set my plate down. I started laughing so hard. I was like, oh, they did give you double veggies. What is this?
Yeah.
4 asparagus spears. And here's a hot tip. The 7-ounce steak, sirloin, at Bud's Broiler looks exactly like the 5-ounce at Outback for half the price. So
Right.
there's a hot tip for you.
Anyway,
Supposedly one's 5 and one's 7, but
Right.
boy, they looked the same to me.
the drinks we got were good. Normally, I don't love their old fashioned because they use weird bitters in there that are like walnutty and cinnamony. I don't care for that, but we got Manhattans this time, and they were delightful. I thought
They were
They
great.
were great, and so we had
Dinner was just okay.
we had a lovely time with our friends.
Yeah.
And then the best part of the experience was that when we weren't even looking, our buddy picked up the tab.
Oh, and that was really a nice surprise.
It was. And so I couldn't complain about the meal the whole night because he picked it up.
Right. So we saved it for you. And that was our experience at Bud's Broiler.
So Jonathan was great. The kid needs a raise because he handled himself beautifully.
Right.
The food was small portions and mediocre for the price. But again, I didn't pay. So with that said, fully worth it to me. Free food, delightful.
Yep.
If I had to pay the $250 for that meal, I'd have been
Excuse me.
pissed.
Yeah. Here, the best part of the night, though, honestly, we walked back to the condo. We were going to play a game, and then we started talking and telling stories, and we sat there telling stories for hours and laughing, and it was awesome. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So that was really, really fun. And then got up and went to church in the morning.
That's exactly right for Easter Sunday, and it
Yep.
was a delight.
Yes.
It was
Any
a
other
lovely
restaurant
time.
reviews you've got?
Well, the only other one I have was our restaurant today. This morning, we got done with our morning meetings a little early. So at about 10 minutes to noon, we went to lunch, and we went to Azteca in Kennewick, Washington. And I don't know what's going on there, but it was the most bland Azteca meal I've ever had.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of comments. I got beans and rice. It was, because I was like, well, beans
Yeah.
and rice shouldn't upset my stomach. They did. They fully did.
Mine
So
came
that's why I'm
with
coughing.
a grilled chicken breast.
Because I'm allergic to something that was in the food.
And it was plain. I could have made a better chicken breast at home much, much cheaper.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm off it.
Right.
You made an interesting comment. You said restaurant food isn't what it used to be.
It's not. It's not. The only
It
place that's
feels-
super consistent to me,
Outback Steakhouse,
Outback
dude.
Steakhouse is super consistent. They make everything the same way they've always made it for
Yep.
me.
It's the same way every single time. It's very consistent. It's always great.
Yep.
But I get the same meal every time.
And
I get that little sirloin
Fat
steak.
Olives in Richland, the same to me every single time I go in there. I know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm going to
So
get.
you
and
guys,
I
we are
always get it.
struggling. We are struggling. We need some suggestions because it seems like everywhere we go, it's just a shit storm.
Okay.
So I'm asking for suggestions.
Yeah. Let us know. You can send an email to londa@sherwoodaustin.com. That's londa@sherwoodaustin.com. Or send one to David at sherwoodaustin.com.
Google me. My number's everywhere. Like I'm a
Google.
realtor. My phone number is easy to find.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Speaking of
saying?
real estate,
Yes.
now that we have our company, Sherwood Austin Homes,
Yes.
if you are interested in finding out how much your home is worth, and a lot of people that we know have had homes in this market for a long time and done nothing with them except enjoy the appreciation that's come in.
Yeah, it's a savings account you're sleeping
That's
in.
exactly right. If you want to know how much your home is worth, jump on SherwoodAustinHomes.com, SherwoodAustinHomes.com, and we can help you. I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Right on the website, there's a tab that says, how much is my home worth? You can click it. You walk through the whole thing. You don't have to put your information in. It just gives you the info. We don't capture information, which some people tell me is dumb. We should, but you sell how you buy and you buy how you sell.
Right.
And as soon as something is asking me for my information, unless I'm dead set on buying, I'm out, man, every single time.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't capture people's information. Just go get the free stuff at SherwoodAustinHomes.com.
Okay, now's the time in the show.
Let's check it out.
When we jump online and we look at the MLS and see the new houses that are on the market right now. There are 15 brand new homes on the market as we speak.
Listed today. Listed today. So let's look at $314,900. That's a very low price point for our market.
Right. Let's see what
$314,000
gets you.
It gets you. Oh, this is Dayton, Washington.
And that's not nearby.
No, I'm getting right off of that. There's land, residential, land, residential. The next one is $385,000. I like to do the low and the high, right? That's a to be built.
There's a to be built for.
Well, it looks like it, unless that's just really. Let me take a look here. Let's look at. I'm going to pull the pictures.
That's a real house.
Oh, that's a house.
That's
Sorry.
an older home.
I apologize. That first photo. First of all, I'm looking at it sideways and I don't have my glasses on. That's my excuse. Okay, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-story, 296 Tieton Street in Richland, Washington.
Okay.
$385,000. This listing's brought to us by Sean Ray at EXP Realty. I didn't know Sean had gone to EXP, so there you go.
Well, that's interesting.
Sean's a super nice guy. We worked together at Windermere when I was brand new. He's a horse guy. He comes from the equestrian world.
Fun.
Excuse me.
Wow.
So I've done some updates. Oh, those are nice. It's nice updates.
Lovely
in the
updates
kitchen.
in the kitchen. Yeah.
So what year was this built? 1978.
There you go. 1978.
So they've definitely done some updates. You can't raise that ceiling, though.
That's true.
1320 square feet, 385,000. I don't know. I feel like we're pushing the price limit.
Well, let me tell you, the bathrooms are newly remodeled and they look great. The kitchen and the bathrooms look like current homes. Nothing about it looks dated. They've done a really good job remodeling this house.
I like how the laundry is in the living room there.
That's awesome for when you're trying to
nice
watch television. Deck. Yeah, nice deck.
Big backyard.
Sure.
Fenced fire pit. Let's go. Let's go. Established trees.
Yeah, I think this is a hit. Now, we've seen another house in Richland that's very similar square footage and a very similar layout that if they do all of the renovations, they might be able to get $310,000, $320,000 for it, because the renovations we're talking about that they're thinking about doing are just replacing the flooring and painting.
David,
yeah.
Do you want to see what $1.2 million will get you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
5-bedroom, 5-bathroom, also in Richland, Washington, on just shy of half acre, built in 2007.
Okay.
This listing is courtesy of April Connors at Windermere Group 1. Here you go. 3-car garage, 1.29.
And what street is this house on?
Allen White Drive.
Okay. 1104 Allen White Drive. I have been in this house.
Excuse me. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're clicking through the photos, but they're not very spectacular to me, which is why I don't have much to say about it.
Well, it's a standard house, and I don't. What'd you say the square footage is?
Holy shit, 6,420.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why it's so much. It's because it's a great big house, and it is lovely, but it's not so well appointed.
If I've got 1.295, you know what I'm saying? If I've got $1.3 million, I'm having Jason build me a home.
Oh, sure. Prodigy Home.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
But I also don't need 5 bedrooms. That's nice.
That is nice.
That's nice. It's like a walkout basement, rec room, pool table. I think I
Lovely
just
pool
miss our
table.
pool table.
I miss our pool table as well. And that house was only 4,600 square feet. The downstairs kitchen in the basement is spectacular.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is cool. So that you could do a whole separate living space down there.
The theater room. Maybe Jason built this house, actually.
Theater room. Well, if Jason built it, I only have one question. Why didn't we list it? No, I'm kidding.
It's a resale.
A workout room.
I've been in this house, though.
Back patio.
Yeah. It's a nice house.
2-story deck.
You don't like the interior of the home is what it is.
I just think it's a beautiful home.
It's
boring.
A lot of garage front.
To me, it's just boring. I like unusual.
You want to be wowed, and you like a modern aesthetic as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and for $1.3 million, I want to like ooh and ah. The reaction I had to the basement, I want that through the whole thing. I'm not saying it's not worth it. This is just my opinion. Who gives a poop about my opinion?
Right.
But okay, Londa, we always see the highs and the lows, but you don't show us anything in the middle.
Well, what's in the middle?
Hold your pants on.
Hold your pants on.
Well, for the middle of that price point, let's go to Pasco, Washington.
Okay.
It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-story.
Okay.
2117 Road 56, West Pasco, acreage with shop. This is courtesy of John and Barb Kelch at Windermere Group 1. This is $625,000. It's 2323 square feet, and it was built in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
$625,000. Big shop.
How many acres is the acreage?
1.5.
Okay.
1.5 boring ass acres because it's all grass. There's some trees.
Yeah.
A couple of trees, but it's mostly grass. And a nice shop. I'll give them that. It's okay. What are your thoughts here?
I don't see why this house is as expensive as it is. 1.5 acres in Pasco, and it looks kind of rural. And
well, it is kind of rural.
And the kitchen is unremarkable and dated. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Welcome to real estate.
Yeah.
The whole interior is pretty dated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know. No, thank you.
Not for you, huh?
Not for me. Nope.
There you go. There's the aerial
And there are
view.
no interior pictures of the shop because I want to see how impressive the actual inside of the shop is because it's a pretty big space.
No interior photos of the shop. I wonder if they say anything about it down here in the description. Country living. Need some more space but don't want to live outside of town to have it? Here's your opportunity. Oh, we've never read the descriptions before. I might have to go to a different MLS to read descriptions and poke fun of them.
Yeah, we're not going to make fun of realtors.
Animals, RV, newer roof. That's good. I don't see the value.
Know. I don't see it. Now, I'm not an appraiser, so I'm not the right one.
That's the thing. Okay, so if you're looking for a nice house, a good solid house in Pasco on a little bit of acreage, that is not easy to find.
I gotcha.
Especially for this location, the Road 56.
Right.
That's not easy to find.
Okay.
And so it's valuable because of that. So
location.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the whole shebang.
Okay.
Oh, I have a retail story just very briefly. I hate shopping for bras, period.
It sounds way hotter than it is, I think. to me.
It is miserable. It is a miserable experience. I hate everything about it. I tried going shopping for bras this weekend. I can't anymore.
No.
Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Nobody knows their inventory. I don't go to Victoria's Secret because they never have the right size. They don't know what they're doing in there. So I used to do this for a time, so I know how to fit myself really well. It's just the sizing in traditional stores just sucks. And Macy's has gotten rid of at least half of their stuff, and I'm just like I hate ordering online because you can't fit. So that's if you know of a really great local shop, I mean, even within a couple hours of where I am, send it to me. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Bra shopping should be fun. I remember going to buy you some lingerie when we lived in Lafayette, Louisiana. You told me the name of the store, and so I went to that store. The lady who helped me immediately knew who you were and said, "Oh, Londa, the tall, thin brunette. Yeah, I have all her sizes right here." And I said, "That's great." And I bought 3 things that she recommended. I felt very pampered. They took great care of me. I got them home. They were nowhere near your size.
Right.
And then when you went in to say, "Hey, these are nowhere near my size," that same lady said to you, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, "Well, that's the size he told us, ma'am." And I'm like, I don't know what her size is. How would I know that?
Yeah, don't ever lie. I had someone the other day, I had a realtor call me, and they're like, "So my client is trying to do this, but my question is, do you think the lender will find out?" And I'm like, yo, right there, anything that your client's trying to do, and they're like, "Yeah, but the lender can't know." I'm going to stop you right there. It's all going to come to light. They cannot do that. Whatever it is, the answer's no.
I think that's true. Anything you're trying to be conspiratorial with me about, the lender's going to find out about it.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
No, that's a no.
It's a hard no.
Yeah.
It's a hard no.
Let's just keep it all above board.
Yeah. Do the right thing. Do what you say you're going to do, and everything will come out okay.
And go to SherwoodAustinHomes.com.
SherwoodAustinHomes.com, where you can find out exactly what your house is worth and find out if right now is the right time to make a move with Sherwood Austin Homes.
Yeah. You can also call us. You can get our phone numbers are on this site. In fact, I think if you scroll down, look at our cute little faces.
It's us right there. So cool.
Our featured communities. You can search in any of these areas of the Tri-Cities. There's featured listings. There's all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood Austin, my name is David Austin, and this has been The Session with Londa and David.